Oh, taking on the Broncos. Travis Kelce playing in what could be his final game at Arrowhead. Picked this up in the first quarter, RC. The Chiefs trailed 3-0. Chris Oladokun scrambling. You know what? You go to Kelce.
Listen, you got to go to Travis Kelce. I felt like they could have gotten him the ball more early, but late in the game, he did come up big.
Later on that drive, Oladokun, Brashard Smith, watch him power his way.
This was actually a great play design. They had two crossers. It brought the safety and the cornerback in. Singleton was caught inside. Brashard beat him to the pylon.
Hey, Chiefs up 7-6 at this point. Just get to the third. Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton. That's a 23-yard game. That's a first down. They moving the chains. Later in the drive, Bo Nix is like, you know what? I'm going to take it myself, man. Watch this. Put my head down.
At some point in every game, Bo Nix's legs play a part in a Denver Broncos comeback.
Broncos up 13-10. We go to the fourth quarter, and then Nix again. This time, Lil Jordan Humphrey. That's a 17-yard pickup. It's a first down. The drive continues. 2-minute warning here. It's tied up at 13. Broncos going for it. 4th and 2.
Not a veteran.
Chiefs 9-yard line. Look at this, Chris Jones.
You can't have come on, Chris. You better than that, brother.
Oh my God, he jumps off sides. He can't believe it. So that means it's 1st and goal, and then on 3rd and goal, Nix, R.J. Harvey, a bullet in the back of the end zone.
If they could just more fourth quarter Bo Nix and make him play the rest of the game, the Denver Broncos would be cooking with grease.
It was 20-13 at this point. Oladokun, Kelce. There's another one. He's tackled at the 28. Big reception for Kelce. Later in the drive, they're going for it. Oladokun looking for Hollywood Brown.
That had a chance.
Too high.
That truly had a chance.
Maybe a lack of chemistry with your receivers. Young guy, but I think he acquitted himself really good.
Thought he did well.
Here's Jason Kelce on the crowd reception he got last night.
It's a beautiful thing, man, and you know it's something I know I'll cherish forever. Is those moments coming out of the tunnel or just making a big play for him late in the game, and that's why we love Arrowhead, man. Honestly, I've been just focused on trying to win football games, man. I'll let that be a decision that I make with my family, friends, the Chiefs organization when the time comes.
So Travis Kelce there, you listening to him? It sounds like, okay, this might be it. And so when you look at this Chiefs team, Mike T, for next season, are we talking about reloading? Are we talking about rebuilding?
Rebuilding, and you have to make some difficult decisions. Travis Kelce, all-time great, first ballot Hall of Famer, but you have to look at what a player is going to do, and at 37 years old, it is time to move on. He had a representative season, but it is time you celebrate him, and really starts at the quarterback position, because I don't think Patrick Mahomes, based on my experience, is just going to be the same guy on day one. He tore not one but two ligaments in his knee, and I think they have to be honest and sober to say, hey, we have a lot of work to do. Move on from Travis Kelce. Chris Jones, by the way, last 4 years, 15 sacks, 10, 5, and 5. So his production's gone down precipitously. RC brought this up yesterday. There's a guy in the draft, Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, who is an explosive running back. And something that the Chiefs haven't had in years, when you watch number 4 here play, explosive plays from the running back position. And what that'll do is that'll take some pressure off of Patrick Mahomes, who's going to need some time to become Superman again. And if you think about over the last 4 or 5 years, their lack of speed at all the skilled players, receiver, but especially at running back, has really hurt this team.
Archie, what do you think? What should the Chiefs do moving forward?
Well, the first thing the Chiefs have to do is erase any memory of what the dynasty was. You're no longer that team. You're no longer the team that had 3 all-time greats in the peaks of their careers. You're no longer the team that had the best in-game, big-game defensive coordinator in Steve Spagnuolo and Andy Reid, who was ahead of everyone from an offensive standpoint. This team has to retool its roster, and it also has to reformulate its mindset in the way that it plays football. This run game is stale. This isn't a team that'll call the run consistency. This isn't a team that has creativity in the run game. This is a team that said, we have possibly the greatest player of all time playing the quarterback position, so we don't need to evolve offensively. And because they didn't do that, they've now been left behind. Even if you look at their ability to draft and replace some of the pieces on the outside to give people or to give Patrick Mahomes skilled players that can help him, they failed at that as well. So this is a team that's going to have to take a year, sit back, and see where they are. Their quarterback won't be the same. Their all-world tight end may not be on the team at all, and Chris Jones is showing signs of slowing up. So they have to find a new roster, but also in that, play this game in a different way.
But if I trust any regime, I trust this Kansas City regime, right? They were doing it with supplemental players, understanding they had a big three, a big core, and now you have to kind of put 2 new guys in there. You got to go out and get some young guys. You may have to go out in free agency and get an impact player immediately. I mean, you talk about Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. These are all good 2s and 3s on most teams. They were asking them for pivotal catches and pivotal plays. Hollywood Brown never panned out. You know, you got Xavier Worthy that's supposed to be the speed over the top. I think you kind of go back in the hot tub time machine and you maybe try and get, Tyreek Hill 10 cents on a dollar, right? That gives you an explosive player coming off injury again. But to your point, they have to run the football. They've been putting too much pressure on Patrick Mahomes to carry this team for 2 years. And this regime and this core lasted 2 years longer than we all anticipated that it would. So they just got to reload. But, Patrick Mahomes' prime is the window.
And, one of the things I got to really consider, guys, he may not be ready on opening day.
Correct.
Because, again, how late his ACL injury was. So could you imagine, we may be talking about the Chiefs in 2026. Their first 6 weeks may be Gardner Minshew under center. And you think about where some of these other AFC teams are with their quarterbacks. They could be looking at 2-4 before Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, this isn't a 2026 fix, though, right? When you are this good for this long, if you are not constantly thinking about the next step, you're going to get left behind. You're going to have that low. The New England Patriots messed up all of our minds and made us think that you could do this for 2 decades straight and never take a step back. That's not the way it works. And so if you aren't thinking a step ahead, if you aren't building a team that can carry your best players as they get old, you end up in this position.
But New England went 10 years without in between titles. I don't think it will take this long for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
But they were never bad, though.
That's true. That's true. But, I think maybe a year or two, they'll be right back where they need to be because they're going to be doing something they haven't done in a long time. They're going to be picking in the top 15.
Yeah.
So that means they get an impact player with their first pick. Too often they're trying to be smart, move into the second round, start over again, try and get quality picks. They get to get a certified stud. Like you said, Love. We don't know where the running back position is going to fall. He may fall straight to him. I also believe that maybe, them being a little bit too prideful, they should have gave up the 3rd round pick for Breece Hall, and we wouldn't be in this situation, but Breece Hall may be available to try and get an impact player that can carry Patrick Mahomes until he's capable of carrying the team again.
In the next hour, we'll talk about the team who just knocked off the Chiefs, the Broncos, and how far you raise your team and not be the reason that you lose big games in critical moments. So what did you think of Jared Goff's performance?
Well, I think first off, the reason I wouldn't compare him to Sam Darnold is because he's shown more than Sam Darnold has throughout his career, especially in the regular season. It's also why I think it's worse than Sam Darnold, because Jared Goff can build you up to make you believe that you have a chance. And then you go back to the Super Bowl versus Bill Belichick and the way that offense didn't show up under Sean McVay, or you go to the second half of the NFC Championship 3 years ago in San Francisco. Think back to last year against the Washington Commanders and all the turnovers Jared Goff had in that game. And now you're going to look at a must-have-it game for the Detroit Lions. You understand what your defense is facing with all of those injuries, and to turn the football over 5 times, to look hapless at many points of this game, and also to feel like you don't have an answer to what Brian Flores and their defense is presenting to you. It's unacceptable for Jared Goff. And this is an organization, this is a head coach, this is a general manager that has put the ultimate trust in Jared Goff to be able to elevate this team, and yesterday he let them down.
Oh, Mike T, what about Dan Campbell? Because how much, I guess, blame does he deserve? He took over the play calling duties here. I mean, you saw some bad exchanges, the snaps, the offense just didn't get going at all.
It starts with Dan Campbell, and I work with him. Nobody